So this week's topic with People's Bible and cultures in text, I find it so interesting because we've reached a topic that could just go in so many directions with women. So on one hand, you have this view that women should be, I guess, submissive. They should be quiet. They should be not mousy, but kind of, I guess, I guess for lack of a better term, more submissive. And then you have the modern day role feminism saying roles, women can hold roles of authority, women can hold roles of power. So you have these two conflicting, I guess, ideas of schools of thought, and you kind of want to understand where they might fit in the Bible or where the Bible speaks on it, one of them. One thing that our reading spoke about was how foreign women were viewed, and I found that so interesting because that's something that I had never, I guess, thought of. And in a majority of a Caucasian society, and you also have men seen as the dominant ones, I never thought how a foreign woman might try to figure out how she fits in this place of society. And I know the book also mentions that in the Bible, foreign women were, well, a lot of the foreign women were portrayed as impure or manipulative or sexually illicit. That's in the last paragraph, page 111. And I find that, yes, a lot of women in the Bible were like that, but they were not all that way. So we cannot just say, oh, the Bible says that immigrant women are like this. No, we cannot do that just because a handful were. That would be silly of us to just say, oh, all of them are like that. So, and I can understand how a former woman might feel in such an environment where, I mean, someone who's contrastly different, a man and another race, is viewed as superior, and she probably wonders where exactly she fits in society. And I like how Ralph mentioned in his video how his mother, well, no, not his, well, his mother is Dominican, and she's a Christian. And he also mentioned how, I guess, white society sort of imposed this belief system of submissiveness onto, I guess, other races. And I can certainly see how that would be a problem, because it nowhere mentions that groups of people had to be submissive to each other. The only ones who had to be submissive were wives to their husbands, and even then, that has a certain, I guess, a certain line. That does not mean that she, I guess, is a doormat. That does not mean that she sits and lets her husband take advantage of her. It just says, in for my knowledge, I think submissiveness in that sense means she listens to her husband. She understands him. She, if he has a plan, she tries to help him with it. So we see submission as something that I think we get the wrong idea about. And also something else, wives be submissive to their husbands, but it does not mean women be submissive to men, if that makes sense. Now, on the other hand, I am no way a feminist, not at all. But I do agree with certain things about feminism, where women are equal and we can hold certain positions of authority. But my thing is, we're both strong. Men and women are strong. We're maybe strong in different ways, but I feel like those ways complement each other. Like one aspect is not better than the other, if it makes sense. So, I guess my question for the class is, what is some, I guess, ideas of, I guess, maybe not feminism, but just women in general? What are some women's ideals now that you find are totally, I guess, conflicting to that of how an ideal woman is portrayed in the Bible?